Today I saw something, Board Gamer dropped a video, and a segment of it was actually talking about people are thinking about PVE servers in Star Citizen. I'm going to react to it and just give my opinions on the things that are going to be said, and yeah, let's get into it.
PVE servers. And this might cause some controversy again. I just want to talk about this. Right. I saw some threads and I saw some videos about players talking about give players a PVE option for servers in Star Citizen. Now, what have CIG got to lose? Is basically the argument.
My first initial reaction to that is no. From what I've learned so far in Star Citizen, it's not going to be needed in the long run of things. So why do it now? Why split up infrastructure that's going to be needed to host everyone by splitting into PvE and PvP? All we're going to see there is the player base be split in half and things that have to be done differently. If we put something in for PvE, we have to do some more tweaking for PvP. Again, splitting resources, splitting time. And also in the future of Star Citizen, from what I have learned, and I've not been here that long, but from what I have learned is Stanton is right now a mid-tier security system. Pyro is a no security system, but there is more to come in the future that will have way more security and policing. So after I recorded this video, I thought to myself that it would actually be a smart idea to put a poll out on my YouTube account just to get more of you guys' personal inputs on the situation. There was 3 options, and out of them, the highest was no. Star Citizen does not need PvE servers. But in the second highest, people chose that they need more PvE protection, not just PvE servers. So I'm going to be reading a few of these comments out to you guys to whenever I feel like it fits into what I said in the video prior, I'm going to fit it in so you guys have a little bit more of your own kind of perspectives in it as well. So it's not just only me, but yeah.
Zin, do you think CIT should spin up a PvE only server?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So I disagree.
Yeah, okay.
Why do you think that?
Because some people don't want any PvP.
Are you talking about a PvE server temporarily, or are you talking about actually people in the future?
I don't know, what are you talking about?
Well, okay, that's fair. So basically, last year, Rich Tyreer and CIG reiterated their PvE versus PvP sort of thing that they're doing. And they said places like Nyx and Pyro, they're going to be Wild West. There's not going to be any laws. It's going to be open PvP potentially there.
Yeah, that's
you
what
go
I've
there
kind
in
of
force,
figured.
or you want to hide, or you want to avoid people, or you just need to be aware that PvP just can occur. Stanton, Terra, Castro are going to be significantly more safe. Very safe, policed, have a law system that supports that. You should be able to not be engaged in PvP unless you go to very specific, like Nebula or an area where a comm array is down and you're sort of aware of things.
Right, okay.
That is what I want from Star Citizen. I want areas which are...
But again, I feel like there is a lack of punishment for people who are going around griefing people. I do honestly feel like there's a lack of punishment. There needs to be more punishment involved in that because a lot of people don't care because there's no real repercussions, right? I haven't blown anyone up, but if you blow people up, do you have to pay for their ship? If they don't say, hey, this person that attacked me, and when they get the pop-up, they give you a sentence and you go to prison, you get a fine. Do they have to pay for your ship? Do you now have to go back to a station and call your ship yourself and pay that fee for your ship being exploded? If that is the norm, then they need to put that on the attacker. The attacker, if you're in a safe system and you decide to go blow people up, you have to cover the fine and them calling back their ship. It's only fair, right? But if you're in Pyro, it's all hell can break loose and no one can do nothing about it, you know?
PvE, areas that are PvP, and areas where PvP can occur, and that ought to be clearly labelled and players to be aware of what they're getting into when they get into that gameplay. Because I do want high risk, high reward stuff in.
Exactly.
Or whatever, you go there because you want.
But that's the thing. If you have just a PvE server, why the hell would you have to host a big system like Pyro? What's the point? Why will anyone go to a system that's supposed to be lawless, all this high risk, high reward things against only NPCs? Doesn't make sense. The human element, the human behavioral patterns is what creates the high risk, high reward. And that's the thing. So if there's no human element to it where someone could crash out and just go around killing people in Pyro, what's the danger of Pyro? What's so lawless about Pyro? Why are people going to Pyro? If you don't want that kind of gameplay, stay away from there. When I first started this and Pyro came out, I didn't go there for quite a bit because I still wasn't comfortable with the idea of someone might pull up and just kill me for no reason. And then when I got myself comfortable with that idea, I started going to Pyro, and I've been living in Pyro the last month now. And I feel like, yeah, I'm getting the hang of this. If someone comes to attack me, I am willing to fight, and I'm willing to die fighting and losing everything, you know? Here we have Christoph, who says, heck no. Making PvE servers takes away the randomness of encountering other players, which itself is part of the Star Citizen experience. Not all players are going to be angels, but some will actually help with a bounty. And then he tells us about found a guy and he helped this guy and he didn't kill him. And I totally agree with that. And then even in Pyro, there was a situation where I was doing my Fight for Pyro missions. I went in, I did my mission, and I was leaving. I was like, you know what? I'm going to swing back out and see if I can find any cool gear. I came back to another little outpost there and I saw someone there and they were doing their mission. They were on foot. Ship was totally unmanned. I didn't kill them or blow up their ship. I helped them kill the people who were attacking them from above. So the enemies and the NPCs from above were killing them and they were kind of locked down. I helped them out. I turned my lights on to give them a little bit more visibility because their lights weren't angled in the correct position for them to see the enemies in the area. I helped them out. And as soon as I was done, I flashed my lights twice and I zoomed off. I didn't kill them. I was in Pyro. If I wanted to, I could have killed them, took all their things, taken their ships, and nothing would have happened. There would have been no repercussions. But I didn't. So not everyone's going to be like that. But the vast majority of people, if you give them no reason to, they will not attack you just for no reason. And I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people are missing, because out of 10 people, maybe one might just kill you for no reason. And I feel like a lot of PvE players, when they go to someone like Pyro, for instance, they get scared, so they shoot first, ask questions later, and then they end up shooting someone who is way better than them. And now it's like, you attacked them, they attacked you, they killed you. They weren't coming for you, they weren't looking for you. You attacked them. They might be red because they did some devious things earlier on, but they weren't out there to kill you, and you attacked first, giving them the incentive to now attack you. Then the attacker dies, then on global chat, you're talking about why you grieve for me, why you doing this, and you killed me, and the person's like, I didn't. You shot me, I shot back, you died. Get good. That's just how it goes. So if you are nervous, if you're giving people signals that I am going to attack you, they're going to attack back and you're going to die. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to play better, play smarter.
You want to do your PvP gameplay and you want to compete and you build your bases in that sort of area. But I don't want players to be in a position where in Stanton they're getting ganked all the time because they're trying to mine somewhere.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
And I think it's important to have players concentrated on the same servers because the gameplay of the PvPers and the PvEers supports the economy and changes what happens in the dynamic economy.
It's so different. It's like, if you're a PvEer, right, the chances of someone who's out there doing bounties just gonna come and freaking catch you and kill you isn't gonna be that high. Because in my opinion, if you're mining, let's say you're mining or you're salvaging, they're not gonna always be there. They're gonna be doing something so far away from you. So only if someone is actively coming out to look to annoy people or to look to kill players, there is no reason they should come to you, especially if you have no bounty on you. How are they gonna track you? The chances of you, because the one thing I've like been coming to grips is like just the size of the star systems, the size of the planets, the size of the game. So it's like the chances of coming across someone out there in the wild, like, is really low. Like, unless you're close to a station, an outpost, whatever, it's super low to find people. And once you go to certain places, it's an armistice zone. They can't attack you anyway. So for me, it's like, there's not that much fear, especially in Stanton for me. There wasn't that much fear for me, but like in Pyro, there is an element of fear, but I'm there by choice, you know? And
large org events and base wars and things like that, they are going to be hugely supported by players that are mining, salvaging, and doing a load of the industrial work, some of which are going to be almost purely PvE players.
Right.
My concern is that I don't want to separate players onto different servers.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And I do think that
because it's gonna cause animosity. Have you seen other games where there's like PvE and PvP? When they add new elements to the game, if it's PvE based, everyone on PvP side, they're all angry. Oh my god, here we go again. All they're doing is adding more PvE stuff. What about us? We're lacking over here. We're not getting to eat. Only the PvE players are getting to eat. Then when they add something that's just strictly for PvP, oh my god, look at them going again, adding more stuff for PvP. Wow, there's more of us over here on PvE, but PvP are getting everything. It's gonna just create animosity between the two server types. And then if you look at it, and it's a thing of, look at games like, for instance, a good one is Rust, right? Rust has a decent amount of players. I think they're like, let me go check right now what Rust is at. Like, look at this, right? This is Rust right now, literally on Steam alone. Rust has 1,000 players in game right now. There's no PVE servers. Unless you have a private server, there's no PVE. There's only PvP, PvE. And people are still playing. And a lot of players, I've played Rust quite a bit, and a lot of players are simply farmers. All they do is farm. Yes, there's the chance of you getting raided. Yes, there's a chance of all of these things, but it doesn't happen as often as you would think it would. And there's less people going out to just be dead. Because yeah, most of the time on games like Rust, for instance, a lot of the people going around just causing havoc are kids. And I'm pretty sure not a vast majority of kids are playing Star Citizen now.
People that think they want PvE only servers really, and this is what I reckon rather than, and obviously some people are not going to want this, but I do reckon that a lot of people want just the supporting systems in Star Citizen to give you that PvE safety and gameplay,
right?
And
okay.
have areas for that PvE gameplay, rather than making the whole of your server PvE and then having huge elements of gameplay that you can't really get involved with.
Sure, but where is it?
But where is what? Where is that supporting gameplay and the?
Yeah.
It's not there yet.
It's not
which
there.
Is why I said
Exactly. There is not enough things safeguarding players who just want to live a peaceful life. Because at the end of the day, when we're looking at Star Citizen, when I'm looking at Star Citizen, I've come in here and I'm like, this is a simulator. It's like a fantasy simulator of the future. Not even fantasy, but futuristic simulator, right? There is a lot of things in the real world that protects people like you and me, regular civilians, like we're civs. There's things that protect us from someone just coming out and being crash outs, right? Or even you becoming a crash out, or me becoming a crash out. There's things in place that says, well, Steph, if you become a crash out now and you go beat someone up, you might get 10 years in prison. You don't want to go in prison right now, gang. So I'm not going to do that, right? But I feel like there's not enough punishments where it's like, okay, players shouldn't be doing this because there is a high repercussion for this. And that's the issue. But then again, when it comes to games, it's a hard topic because it's like, how much of real life stuff do you want to add into a game? Isn't the game a place where we come out and we want to just forget about some of the real world things like police systems and law systems? Don't you want to just be able to come on the game and just, if you want to kill everyone, you know? Like if you're in GTA, you just want to drive across the street, you know? It's a thing of how much actual control do you want to impose on players, which is a thing that people will be thinking about, right? But in my opinion, because Star Citizen is so big and now they've added the pyro system, and as Board Gamer said, there's a lot of other systems they're going to be adding that are also going to be like non-security and non-policed. While there's going to be a lot more coming, they're going to be more policed and more security. There's a lot of room for you to play, and especially if you want to do PvE lifestyle or PvP lifestyle, and always having the choice to be able to go to PvE gameplay or PvP gameplay in the same place. Because I find a lot of the time, sometimes I'm a hardcore PvP player. I like playing PvP, but sometimes like right now in Star Citizen, I don't want to play PvP. I want to play more PvE, like learn the game and just have a chill time for now. But on other games, when I'm playing them, it's like, oh, I'm playing PvE right now. I want to go to PvP. I have to start again from scratch. Why should we always have to start from scratch again if you want to switch over? And then when you don't want to play PvP, it's stagnant. It becomes stagnant and there's no progress. Nothing is going on there. Then you have to go back again. Then you start from where you left off. If there's PvE, PvP servers that are just mixed together, you're always making progress. No matter what gameplay you want to do, you're always making progress. So it's not a thing of, oh, I have to log off now and hop onto the PvP server. Yay, go me. It's a little bit weird, you know?
Are you talking temporarily? Because
Well, no, I would like to have a PvE server. That would be great.
Okay.
I understand your point, but also, when we don't have the supporting gameplay, we need a PvE server.
So one of the things is like in Evocati, for example, PvP for the most part is not allowed. You're only allowed to do a PvP if the other person consents, or
but then that makes it more like, I don't know, it makes it like fake role play, you know? There's this game mode on Ark I used to play on. On the old version of it, Ark Primitive Plus, right? And basically there was these servers that were like just like super role play. If you wanted to PvP with someone, you had to basically ask them, hey sir, I'm willing to cut your head off. Are you willing to do it with me? And it's like, bruh, can I just like go over and just cut his head off, bro? Do I have to tell him and announce myself? And I was thinking of like, if you don't do that, if you don't have that conversation, you're gonna get banned. So I feel like it's a little bit weird with like, I want to kill this guy, but hey dude, do you want to fight me? Like, are you willing to fight? It's a little bit odd. It should be a thing of, if you're in a certain place, you know that's dangerous here. You know people can kill you here. You shouldn't be there if not ready to die.
it's part of the particular test they're doing. Yeah?
Okay.
Which is really interesting. And I think a lot of people would agree with you. They want a PVE server and have always wanted a PVE server. And like originally,
I feel like it breaks the immersion and breaks the society.
Ages ago, and then talked about, well, actually, we have it all in the same universe. And I think there's a lot of people that are hungry for PVE servers, and I think there's a lot of people that would say that would ruin the game. And there's a lot of people that want, like, not only PvP, but want just PvP rampantly everywhere because they're monsters.
Nah.
I hate griefers.
I don't think anyone, if you want that, you're a sick person. Dead ass.
And I think that a lot of people that worry about PvP worry about, like, these safe systems being rampantly run by people that can just murder you, which I never want to happen, or super rarely.
There's got to be things in there to stop that kind of thing.
I want that to happen is if you go into an area that is particularly unsafe, that's like a nebula or something that you know is something's going on and that PvP might occur. But yeah, as I said, my concern is I don't want to break up the player base, and I do think that
breaking up the player base is not it.
I like the PvE nature of Star Citizen.
Same here.
Do you think that once they have those supporting systems in there, and they've sort of got to like Star Citizen 1.0, that it becomes less relevant to have PvE servers in the way that you'd want them?
Yeah, but the thing is, you say you don't want to split up the player base, and obviously the economy will all be connected, but you'll still get people only staying in the safe systems and people only being in the dangerous systems.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that's okay because they have the option to go there, and they don't have to start a new character. They don't have to switch servers or do any sliders. They have the option to go there. Like, for instance, like if we're looking at it in real world mechanics, right? I don't think a lot of people want to go to Iraq. I think a lot of people like the Western world because it's kind of safer. You know what I'm saying? Well, it kind of let's not talk about that right now. But it's supposed to be safer, right? So a lot of people are going to stay where it's safe because that's the lifestyle they want. But a lot of people are going to still be over there. And a lot of people are going to be going back and forth. That's how real life, like, economies work. It's not always going to be a thing. And it's going to be a thing of, you want better opportunities? You want more money? Well, there's missions over there that's going to give you 20%, 30% more output than the missions here. People are going to go over there, you know? From a gaming perspective, after a while of staying in a safe system, you might get bored. You might want that extra heart thumping, you know? And you might go over there. You might get bored of the missions types you're doing. You might want to go over there and do that. You should have that option. It should all be in the same place, you know?
I don't see you need to... Because effectively what you've done is you have PvE and PvP servers because of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that separation, when you have the law systems, the reputation systems, the consequences, the security response,
right?
You've got the protections you want in your PvE systems.
Exactly.
Because you don't want roaming bands of bandits that just get away with doing anything they want in those areas. But I do want that in Pyro. Because I like the idea of dealing with those pirates by hiring escorts or putting contracts out on them. Other orgs going, we are going to have some emergent gameplay where we just go around Pyro and put down all of these pirate orgs, whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of like what
that's what it is.
For the most part with security and PvP/PvE. I'm glad that you have a different point of view on this because it does show and it does represent the thirst for PvE servers. Some players want this, and just going they're wrong is not an appropriate response.
No. That's the thing, is it's not a thing of they are wrong. They aren't wrong because I see the issues and I see the concerns, but it's like when the game is at a more like finished state, there should be things in place to give you that without having to split everything up, without having to put resources here and there. And like they just implemented server meshing. They're adding so many servers and all these clusters all into one thing. It's like splitting that up again to then duplicate it. It's kind of like, nah, and then having to make other protocols for PvE only and other protocols for PvP only. It breaks things. Like the game I play like my main game is Ark. Sometimes when they do updates for PvE, it breaks PvP. There's this thing called cryopods where you can basically cryopod any dino, put it in a little pod, and then you can throw it out wherever you want. They changed that drastically because of PvP, and it affected PvE. Then when they reintroduced it and then they did a little bit of tweaking, again, it worked perfectly for PvE, but the tweaks destroyed things on PvP, and a lot of people weren't happy. And again, it became a thing of the PvP players were really, really angry at the PvE players because they're like, we learned how to deal without them, and now because of you guys crying, they added them back, but now they botched our gameplay just to satisfy you guys. And it just became like a big thing of a row. And I don't see there's any point of it in Star Citizen when there's going to be systems with the policing that we need to keep them kind of separate, but in the same thing.
There are honestly room for the PvE only people and the PvP only people and the mixed people, all in the same game, the same mega universe.
Mega universe, exactly.
And that's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, I
Do you see
believe in
these
that
working
too.
in any particular way, or is it just sort of like you like the idea of PvE only servers?
I just like the idea of them.
Yeah.
I like
the choice.
I like the I can't remember what the word is. Peace of mind that you'd get with joining a PvE server.
Yeah, but it's like the peace of mind in the long run makes a game boring. The peace of mind in the long run makes the game redundant, because it's like after playing years and years and there's nothing going on, there's no moment where it's like, oh my god, that's a ship over there. I might need to put on my shields right back up because they might kill me. It kind of, I don't know, maybe for me because I'm just that kind of guy, but tell me how you guys feel. Don't you feel like after a while, after like 5, 6, 7 years, if there's no like threat, there's no risk, it suddenly starts feeling, because at one point you're going to get super good at FPS. At one point you're going to get super good at salvaging. At one point you're going to get super good at ship-to-ship combat. If there's no other elements except for the AI you're facing, humans are so unpredictable. And that's what adds a little bit of extra like oomph to it, is the fact that humans are unpredictable. And that gives you a sense of, I have to dial in, I have to be locked in, I have to think about it. I see a lot of PvE players, when they're playing, they're kind of zombieing off, like they're just zombieing off, they're just zoned out. And it's like, when I'm playing Star Citizen, I can't zone out, because if I zone out for too long and a player comes into the fray, I might get shot down now. So I need to be always checking, hey, is that an NPC or is that a player? And I need to know where I am, what I'm doing, and make sure I'm safe at all times. And adds a little bit of awareness, like it wakes your brain up, keeps you aware, keeps you dialed in, you know?
It's an interesting one. I just want clear labels and systems in place for both sets of players, because there's a big enough
we need the systems.
gameplay
we
area,
need the
or there at
definitely.
least will be, for both sets of people to be catered for. Right. Is that happening at the moment? Not really.
No, it isn't. No,
and also
I get
lots
it.
of people want to PvE in
Right
Pyro,
now,
and lots of PvPers are still PvPing in Stanton. I'm interested to know other people's thoughts on this. And obviously, they don't support griefing in any form. I think a lot of people get confused between PvP
and griefing, yeah.
But a lot of PvPers get confused between PvP and griefing as well.
But yeah, I can't lie. I get the concerns, but it's, again, as he said, a lot of people get it confused. PvPing isn't a player has a bounty on them, you go to kill them, or your boat at somewhere, you find a rare item that you all want, and then you fight for it. That's PvP. Griefing is you see a player, you see their name, and you continuously keep attacking them. Or every single player you see, you attack them for no reason, even if they have no cargo, no resources that you can take that benefits you. Griefing, in my opinion, is just you're doing things that don't benefit you in any way, shape, or form, except for you're pissing people off. If you're going and you're getting, okay, I'm killing this person, but they've got a lot of gold. I'm going to take that gold, I'm going to sell the gold, I'm going to get profit. That's just PvP, right? And if that person is in the wrong place at the wrong time, it is what it is. It's PvP. But if it's, oh, this ship is empty, I'm just going to just blow them up anyway. That's griefing. That's just being a dick. Like, so there's a lot of difference there. But I feel like if you are a PvE player and you are in a PvE system, or a system that is meant to be policed, there has to be a lot more harder repercussions to the people who are trying to grief or PvP in those systems. If someone is literally going by their day, doing some mining, doing some salvaging, doing some cargo running, and you decide to come ruin their day or poop in their cornflakes, you should have to cover the payment of their ship, cover the insurance, do all of that, get a fine on you, and have some prison time. There should be a lot of things to stop you and be like, after you do this, you're not clearing up your name. You are going to prison, or you are going to have a timeout, or you're going to have some sort of system that just punishes you for doing things that you shouldn't do in a police system, because it's a police system. I feel like CIG is trying to battle their want to implement things to stop players, but they also don't want to stop players from playing the game. I've heard, I think it was the guy who's Chris. I heard Chris say they don't want to do things that actually impede players from playing the game. For instance, if you keep blowing up your ships, they don't want to add a system where it's like, if you blow your ship the first time, it's 10 minutes for the wait time to recall it from insurance, and then the second time it's 30 minutes, and then the fourth time it's like an hour. They said they don't want to go in that route because that actually stops players from playing the game. And I feel like that is a big reason why they don't have strong enough prison sentences or ways to stop players who are griefing, who are being aggressive in protected police systems from playing the game. They don't want to stop them because they're scared that's going to drive away a lot of players. But in my opinion, if you were driving away players who are PvPing all the time in protected systems and just griefing people, if those systems are in place to stop them and then they stop playing, we didn't need them in the universe in the first place, right? We don't need those kind of people. They can go. We won't miss them. And also from what I've experienced so far in like the last 4.5 months now is like, I'm not really running into these people who are causing all these problems. I don't know if I'm just lucky or what it is, but I don't run into these people. So when I see it, it's like a lot of people are complaining about things that I haven't experienced. But I'm the kind of person who's like, I like to sit on the outside. What are they feeling? What are they looking at? So I can still understand the reasons why someone would want a PvE server and why someone would want that extra bit of safety. Because when I first started playing games, like, again, I didn't go to Pyro until I was certain I was okay with PvP. I was certain I was okay with dying, losing things, and people just taking what I have and taking what's mine for theirs, you know? Because I stayed in standing for a very long time, and the same thing with any other game I played. The only games that actually just threw me into the dark were games like Rust and things like that, because there was no option. I didn't have the option. And I ended up really enjoying those games. I ended up really being in a thing where it's like, if I play smart, if I play safe, I don't end up fighting these people. I don't end up being raided or PvP or being griefed or anything, you know? And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the words you say bring repercussions. You can't be on servers chatting or complaining and just yapping and calling people names and trying to outsmart people and make people feel stupid. Then when they see you out in the world, they kill you. You're like, oh my God, you're griefers. You started it. You started instigating. And that's the thing about world chat. A lot of people don't realize that the things you say on world chat will make people angry. And when they see you and they see your tag, they're going to come for you. So it's not a thing of they're just picking on you for no reason. You was yapping on chat, bro. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. But I think that there's definitely concerns and there's things to be addressed. But I don't think PvE servers are the key to it. I don't think it's going to be a good thing for a game like Star Citizen that wants to bring this immersion, that wants to bring this simulation game to like a bigger audience. I feel like it might skew things and it might make some of that realism go away and might disappear. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, if you did like this video, this was a board gamer video I reacted to. He's doing one of his podcast episodes, so make sure to go check him out there as well. But if you like my little input and all the things I had to say, make sure to like and subscribe here as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one.